Like, hello and welcome to the London Rivals podcast. You've got myself and Big P and Wes. You will not see Wes until Real Madrid beat Arsenal because he's scared of the Real Madrid ultras. Okay, he's absolutely petrified. He doesn't want to put his face on camera in case they target him at the Emirates. But other than that, Pete, look, Wes will be a bit of a miss, mate. How you doing, P? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. There's one bonus to tonight's show. We ain't got to listen to Wes bore us about the Arsenal game Sunday because that was just as boring, and let alone him talking about it.
Didn't watch it, mate. Didn't watch it.
Terrible game of football, mate. Terrible game of football.
I didn't watch Spurs. Do you know what? All I've seen is the week. I didn't even watch Match of the Day, mate. Like, I've had such a hectic weekend with like football. It's just been carnage, mate. Absolute carnage. But there's a lot to catch up about, P, mate. Like, obviously, we'll talk about Spurs winning Europa League after we battered the mighty AZ Alkmaar. Yeah, what's your points on that, then, Geezer?
I thought you struggled for a large part of the game. When you look at the side that he put out, I thought it was very, very strong side, and you can tell he's putting all his eggs in one basket now. We've seen rumours of Tottenham have drawn up a short list just in case they don't win it and he's out the door. And for me, I think you'll struggle in Germany, to be honest with you, Matt. Frankfurt a good side. That's the thing. You've got to make that first leg count.
Yeah, mate, listen, if Spurs don't win by at least 2 or 3-0 in that first leg, Spurs are out. We're going out. I have no faith in that current Spurs setup right now to produce anything.
Would you start? Well, obviously they're on international duty this week, but we go back to a midweek fixture list. I think you've got Chelsea at the bridge, and would you say sort of play weekend side now in the Premier League and just put all your eggs in that basket?
Well, we have to. You see that on the weekend where at Fulham, he made 7 changes, like from AZ Alkmaar to Fulham in the Premier League, So it shows clearly that Ange is not interested in the league now. We're not going to go down. We're not going to get top half of the table. What's the point breaking your neck for 1 or 2 places in the league, So break your neck in Europa League and it's win or bust for the geezer.
And Ryan Sessegnon come.
Oh, God, mate, what's that?
Ryan Sessegnon come back to bite you on the arse, yeah?
Oh, mate. Do you know with Spurs, right? Like, I look at that game against Fulham. Like, actually, let me give myself a hype here, mate. That was at AZ Alkmaar, yeah? I said, no matter the cost, we just had to get through the AZ Alkmaar game, no matter the performance. We've got players returning from injury. They need minutes. Like, Van der Ven played 60 minutes. The second he come off, we conceded, yeah? Ramiro played all game, fair enough. Fulham. Ramiro plays 60 minutes, comes up, Van der Ven not risked, so he's rested. Ramiro plays 60 minutes. The minute he comes off, we concede. Ben Davies, he's Mr. Reliable, but if Spurs want to move on, we need upgrades on these players. And Ben Davies, look, and how good Archie Gray's been, he's not a centre-back, and he's just a young kid, so we are going to concede goals because he's lack of experience, yeah? And as soon as he come on, I felt like he could have done more with Munez's goal. He should have got closer to Munez there before he scored. And the second one, Ben Davies, I don't know what he was doing. I have no idea, mate. And this is kamikaze defending, mate. But what I've seen with Van der Ven and Ramiro the last couple of games, well, especially against AZ, I know it's AZ in a poor outfit, really. But we look defensively good. And against Fulham, I think even with Ramiro in there with Ben Davies, we look good. But I don't know. I watched the game back, and Fulham should have got a penalty. Jed Spence pushed Jimenez in the back. That should have been a penalty. So when people were moaning about Bergvall being brought down, and that should have been a penalty, Fulham should have also had a penalty in the first half.
Yeah, I think it was a good finish by Ryan Sessegnon. I wouldn't take too much.
Come on, Pete, mate. You're centre-back. You ain't going to let the ball just bounce like that, are you? You're not going to.
No, you're not. But he's still up to finish it, mate.
No.
He's rifled that pass for Corio.
Yeah, never score a goal like that again in his life. He never will. But then listen, Pete, I know what you're doing. You're firing shots, but talk to me about your Westhamssy moment.
Game of two halves, mate, really. Thought Everton were the better side in the first half. Areola had to make some good saves. Pickford made a couple himself, though. But I thought they probably just edged it. They had the penalty shout as well, didn't they, where Beto kicks the floor and referee gives a penalty and then it goes to VAR and they overturn it. Second half, I think Potter changes it up, mate, at half time. He changes the formation, not the personnel, but the formation, and we look like the better side. And we get the lead, but again, mate, we just can't defend. Is that Mavropanos should never ever put on a West Ham shirt again? He is absolute crap.
But he plays every week.
Like, he got dropped the last couple of weeks because Creswell come in, but he seemed to drop Creswell and put him in, and he's just useless. But as soon as I see him in the starting 11, I said to my old man and my brother, I said, we could be in a bit of trouble today. He's just shit, and to concede the way we did, it's just devastating. Isn't it? 91st, it's never a good moment to concede a goal, and
It's gutting. It's gutting.
Yeah, it is. But over the 90 minutes, mate, it's probably the fair result, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, look, listen, going to Goodison Park is it's going to be tough, you know, especially with David Moyes there. He's got them playing well, Everton. But
yeah,
mate, I predicted Spurs would lose to Fulham. I predicted that all day long. Did you? What did you predict? Fulham, your team, West Ham, and
I think I had 2-1. I think, mate. Yeah.
What, you boys?
Yeah. I'm not going to back against us. I generally thought we'd go there and get a result. We did get the result, but I thought we'd go there and get all 3 points.
Well, what is your thoughts for the next 9 games of this season? Like with West Ham, just try and build on next season, or what? Like,
I think so, mate. I think so. I think I'd rather see now. We're not going to go down. We're not probably going to go any higher. So it's now time to experiment with a side and see what you've got to play with. Bring some of the kids in, like the Kalen Cases, and that plays. He's a centre half, and Lewis Alford, who's a centre midfielder, and just try them out, mate, and see if they're ready. But again, Saturday he went with Bowen down the middle. I thought Evan Ferguson would start Saturday. I think I said it last week. He's on the bench. What's the point in signing him if you're not going to play him anyway?
Yeah, see, with me with the league, I'm out. I'm out with the league. I don't really. I watched the final. I watched the cup final the other day. I didn't watch Spurs, and I was at Tottenham training ground on Sunday because our boys had the cup final. But mate, I'm out of the Premier League. I'm done. Like, I'm done with the Premier League. Tottenham have made me. They've got me in proper submission here. Yeah, like I'm literally just about to tap out. Like Ken Shamrock's got me in the ankle lock. You know what I mean? I'm done. Yeah.
That's a terrible season for you, though, Matty, isn't it?
All I'm interested in now is Europa League, mate. Well, that's all I'm interested in.
Big call. As I say, there's a lot of good sides in it.
Mate, I couldn't care less. We're not going to go down. Well, we may finish 1 position higher or 1 position lower. I'm not bothered. We've got to go to Stamford Bridge. We've got to go West Ham. We've got to go Villa Park. We'll lose all 3 of them.
What would you like to see now then, like from Ange in the Premier League? What would you like sort of understand what he's got for next season?
Is he going to be involved next season? I would play for the rest of the season Spence, no matter what, Bergvall, Archie Gray, no matter what, in the Premier League, yeah? And even give Dane Scarlett some minutes. Just give him some minutes, yeah? If we're going to make 7 changes against Fulham and stuff like that, then against Chelsea, I don't know, mate, he can make 11, if I'm honest. Do you know what, though? Knowing him against Chelsea, he'll go strong and we'll get an injury. But, like, we need Kulu back. We're missing Kulu massively. Like, the creativity that geezer. But, mate, I don't know. Mate, I don't even know with Spurs anymore, Pete. I'm done. I ain't going to make
he back?
Spurs. What's that?
When's he back? When's he back, Kulu?
I know, mate. No idea. The only way I'm thinking it, we've got Chelsea, we'll lose that. And then we've got Southampton at home. I think we'll beat Southampton at home. If we don't, then...
Yeah, but let's be honest, Matty. Your record against the bottom 3 this year is non-existent at home, isn't it?
You're probably right there as well.
Lost to Ipswich 1-0, got beat by Leicester, and then you got Southampton. They'll probably come down and turn you over and all.
Do you know what, Pete? It all comes down to that Frankfurt game. That's everything on our Frankfurt game. But
Tough game.
obviously, we haven't got crybaby Wes, hiding from the Real Madrid ultras. Yeah, so that's why he's not here today. So we might have to just briefly cover Arsenal. You watched the Arsenal-Chelsea game. What was it like?
Dreadful, mate. Probably one of the worst games of football I've seen in a long, long time. Arsenal had a lot of the ball, just no creativity there.
What did
And
Chelsea go with a low block?
Chelsea just did everything they could to stay in the game, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, again, it was, what was it, set piece FC. Do you know what I mean? Wins them the game. The Tony Pulis tactics. And
what do you reckon with Chelsea, mate? Because Maresca had them playing well at the start of the season. What's happened?
I think Maresca's been found out, mate, if I'm honest. He did it last year at Leicester in the Championship. 17 points clear in the Championship. Probably on course for promotion earlier than anyone else. And then he let that slip. And he's done exactly the same this year. I just think he gets found out. From what I hear from Chelsea fans, he's boring. His football's boring.
Boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
And Cole Palmer, well, he's had the biggest fall off since, in history, I think.
So let's touch on Palmer because I think he had a good Euros, yeah. And
would you say he had a good Euros?
It was like he was one of our most influential players there. Like even if he come on for 20 minutes, he done more in that 20 minutes what most of that team done in 90. Yeah,
wasn't hard though, was it, Matt? Come on, it wasn't great.
No, I get it, but at the end of the day, you still got to give him credit. He had a good season last season under Poch.
Yeah, he did have a good season last year.
Why was he so good under Poch, but now dreadful? Not dreadful, but nowhere near to the standards that he hyped up to be.
Is it that one season wonder mentality? But also, I think, like I speak to Chelsea fans all the time. The wingers don't play as wingers, if you get what I mean. They slow the ball down and go back, and there's no taking a defender. And I generally think he's not enjoying it under Maresca. I think to be fair, I think he started the season pretty well. But since Jackson's got injured, he's probably fallen off. Is it that out-and-out striker that he's missing? Do you know what I mean? And I think it was Brighton away they played in the FA Cup, where he tried to take on the whole team because he couldn't trust anyone around him, and it's a massive problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think with Poch, everything went through Palmer, and with Maresca, it's not everything's going through in there, So Palmer was always on the ball more.
A debate I had today: would you rather under Maresca start well, finish bad, or under Poch start bad, finish well? Do you know what I mean? I think at the moment you've got to be looking at Pochettino and going, I'd rather start badly but end the season really well.
I just think it depends where Chelsea finish. Like if Chelsea get top 4, you take the Enzo thing because that last year they missed out on that, didn't they?
But again, it shows you how bad the rest of the clubs are in the Premier League this year when Chelsea are sitting fourth and they're not even that great themselves.
No, I look at that top 4, mate. I look at it, and Man City have been dreadful this year. Nottingham Forest, they're in there. Yeah, they're good, but mate, it's like watching the old Stoke City. I can't watch them. Newcastle, it's good that they won the Carabao Cup. Can they maintain that now and get a Champions League push? Mate, I think, you look at the teams like Fulham, Bournemouth, they're all up there, yeah? Tottenham have had a massive drop-off this year. Got where West Ham are. Normally they're competing for at least one of the European spots, yeah? Crystal Palace, they are where they normally are. Do you know what I mean? So there's not really no improvement there with them. You've got Everton, kind of where they should be anyway. The bottom 3 are just dreadful. I wouldn't say it's been a bad Premier League season because you've got to give respect to Liverpool on this, and they've been consistent and they've sucked the life out of everyone and got them points on the board.
Oh no, yeah, I totally agree. I'm not saying that Liverpool won the league because everyone else has been bad, but when you look at the top 4 and you think Chelsea, I think someone was telling me Chelsea have only won 2 games in their last stupid amount, and they're still fourth in the league.
What about Spurs?
Yeah, they're still fourth in the league, and you think, how bad is the rest of the division if they're still sitting fourth? Normally, you lose a couple and you're down in 10th. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Normal day clothing. Hello, mate. What's happening, Matt? What's happening, Geezer? Chelsea scraped Europe from a bad position last season. I agree, but they did do a late surge last season, and Matt thinks Palace are making a late surge towards a European challenge.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A late
Palace won,
surge.
mate.
Mateta can't in, I think, can he? He's got to have a new hero put on, I think.
No way. What, he's done his eardrum?
Yeah, he's in a bad way, put it that way.
Is he?
Yeah. He did an interview with Sky, didn't he? He wanted to play on and everything, but yeah, apparently, I don't know if they could save his ear or not, but yeah, he had a big old white thing stuck on it.
Mate, like, hopefully he's all right. Do you know what I mean? But with regards to Palace, I don't know who their next games are. I think they've got Spurs coming up at White Lane. If Spurs are still in Europa League, Palace will probably turn us over, mate, because Ange will probably make about 10 changes that day. But
Yeah,
look, mate,
Palace are a good side, but they had a really bad start, didn't they? Let's be honest.
yeah.
They had a terrible start, and I just think influential players for them haven't turned up for Crystal Palace, like your Eze's and that. I just don't think he's had a great season. Walton's been injured. Took Mateta a long time to start scoring goals, so I don't think they'll make a late surge for the Euro. I think the top 10 is a top 10 now, and that's it.
Yeah. Leicester Ipswich done. 9 points behind Wolves now.
Yeah,
Done.
they're gone, mate. They're gone.
They're gone. Well, Southampton. When can Southampton be officially relegated?
I think I was talking to someone of that 3 games time, 4 games time.
Do you know what? I thought it was coming up, if I was honest, mate. Because what are they on? Like 8 points?
9, I think. But I think it's it's either away at Villa Park, no, at home to Villa, or away at West Ham. We got them at the end of next month.
So basically, they have got 9 games left to try and beat Derby's record.
Basically.
Do you reckon they'll do it?
No, I said in the summer, Matt. I think I was in your live when I said it.
Yeah.
I think they go down with the lowest ever points, and at the moment I've been proven right, and I still think they go down with the lowest ever points.
Them players.
I talk to Football Martin all the time, mate, and he can't even see where the next draw's coming, let alone win. So,
with the money in football now, if this happens, them players all should just be sacked.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's not like Southampton haven't had money. Do you know what I mean? They've just recruited bad. It's just championship players trying to play in the Premier League. People were saying it was Russell Martin. It isn't Russell Martin. It wasn't Russell Martin. The players are just not good enough.
Yeah, I didn't speak, but I was listening to Football Martin the other day, and he said that I think Russell Martin was in the studio for the West Ham Newcastle game on the Monday Night Football, and he said that once Jason Wilcox left, he was left to do jobs that he just didn't have a clue what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? And if you can't concentrate on the team and you've got to now think about recruitment, it's an headache, isn't it? At least you can say, right, I want this player, and then that person goes out and gets them. Do you know what I mean? When you've got to do all that yourself, it's got to be hard work, especially in this day and age.
It's going to be annoying, though, isn't it, Pete? Because we're all out of the FA Cups, and there's no games that weekend. So you've got England this weekend and that. But who's your next Premier League game?
We are away at Wolves, actually, funnily enough. Yeah, on the Tuesday night, 1st of April. Away at Wolves.
How do you reckon there?
I don't know, mate. Wolves are a good side, aren't they? Under this new manager, Wolves seem to have turned a bit of a corner. Be a tough one. We haven't got the greatest of records at Wolves either, so yeah, it'd be a tough one. I'll take a draw now if you ask me.
I'm going to use your exact same excuse what you just said there about Wolves. I'm going to say about Chelsea away. We haven't got a good record there. I'll take the draw now. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Done. Because Spurs are getting pumped at Stamford Bridge, mate.
I would like us to finish above Spurs, though, I must admit. So if we can get the 3 points, it'd be beautiful.
Do you know, mate, I couldn't care less if you finish above us. I couldn't care less anyway, mate. At this moment in time, I'm purely on Europa League only. Spurs could lose the rest of their games to the end of the season. I just want that Europa League. But the way we're playing, mate, we ain't got a chance. But let's swiftly moving on from Premier League. What do you reckon of the England squad that got announced? Any surprises?
Any surprises?
Yeah.
Reece James, Jordan Henderson.
Skelly went in there, didn't he?
I thought Skelly would go in. I actually thought it'd be a toss-up between Skelly and Jed Spence, to be honest with you.
What about Reece James? Was you shocked about him getting a call-up right now?
Terrible call-up. Absolute terrible.
Why? Because I honestly think if he stays fit, he's potentially our best right back along with Trent.
I just don't think he. I think he needs to prove himself a bit more.
Yeah,
You know,
with Reece James, always injured. He's always
always injured.
4 or 5
And
games away from an injury.
I look at form and I think to myself, how was Aaron Wan-Bissaka not got in that England side? He's probably the best right back in the country, probably bar Trent, English, bar Trent, and he still can't get a call up. Like I think if Wan-Bissaka was playing at a United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, he probably gets in that England side with the form that he's shown this season, and he's been our most consistent player. So I was very surprised that he wasn't in the side, if I'm honest.
Rashford, he got called in, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not really too surprised about that with the injuries we've got. Is he now giving the fringe players a bit of a go to see what they can produce on the international stage, like a Rashford? Who's the other one I was surprised about? Dan Burnett could make his debut, but it's
Do you know
32
what?
years old.
Fair play to Dan Burn. Fair play
Yeah.
to Dan Burn, mate. When you talk about a guy that's I thought was pathetic at football, he is just proving me wrong because he's just an absolute. He's like Raziak, yeah, but in defence.
He looks like one of them players, isn't it? You've just won him in a raffle and he's got to play a couple of games.
Mate,
But
I watched him in that cup
listen,
final, mate. He was superb, and do you
yeah,
know what? His passion, so he deserves that chance. Was you
yeah.
surprised like Mitchell and Wharton wasn't called up?
With our struggles in defence, I was surprised that Mitchell wasn't called up. Walton, I'm not too surprised. Like, he's just come back from a groin injury, groin surgery. Not too surprised that he hasn't been called up in this camp. Mitchell, I was, but again, defensively, Matty, we are at 6s and 7s in that England squad. You probably say what Geehy will be the only one that starts that you can name now. Who does he go with at left back? Livramento, who's playing really well for Newcastle at the minute. Do you go with Skelly, who's also playing really well for Arsenal?
The thing is, I don't really know how Tuchel plays. Does he have his fullbacks coming in, or does he keep them
I know.
wide?
I'm the same as you, Matt. I ain't got a clue.
The thing is with Mitchell, he's probably a good left back, yeah. But if you're going to play like the inverted fullback, you're going to want Skelly because he does it at Arsenal. He's comfortable on the ball. Like Skelly can just pick up the ball anywhere, and he's confident. You know, he's got the confidence to do that. Where Mitchell, I think, would panic. Spence, I don't think he's ready for an England call up.
Do you know? I think he's had a good season, though, Matt.
No, Spence has, but he's just a bit.
And he's playing out of position as well.
He's a bit clumsy, though, isn't he? Spence is a bit clumsy, but
yeah. But if we're going down that route, look at Skelly.
No, I get it. But look with Spence, like he's only just come in the squad that last 10 games or something. Do you know what I mean? Maybe a bit more than that. I don't think Spence should have got called up just yet. I think.
What do you? Go on.
Give Spence to the end of the season and then I don't know, see how he is. You know, like because we need a good run. You know, like in the league, really, we need to pick up form. But we need that Europa League. And if Spence is involved in all that, there's no doubt that I think he could get a call up. But where do I see Spence playing? I don't know. I don't think we're going left back ahead of Skelly and stuff like that. And then right back, you're going to have Cole Walker, Reece James, Trent. So is Spence just wasting his time there?
He's another one that surprised me was Cole Walker. I thought he'd be left out. But just going on the England side, what did you make of the 4 goalkeepers that have been called up? We don't really see that, do we? Especially in an England squad.
And the thing is, they're qualifiers, yeah? So if it was like Nations League, with 4 goalkeepers, I thought he would have just done half each for each goalkeeper. With 4. He's not going to risk that in the qualifiers, is he? So he's probably just going to stick with Pickford. But we're at Wembley, so he might make a couple of changes. But, mate, it's weird, 4 goalkeepers, but he maybe wanted them just in the camp. Do you know what I mean? And see how they get on. And then come the next squad, he probably won't have them in. He'll only go with 3.
Yeah, it's interesting. Mate. I think Kyle Walker was a surprise again. I thought he might have been left out of this one. Not had the greatest of seasons, is he? Let's be honest. But again, could be the experience alongside Jordan Henderson, isn't it? Kane Henderson and Walker.
Jordan Henderson's a surprising one because I still don't like how he done the Saudi thing, you know. I don't like how he done the Saudi move.
Yeah.
Cheap, mate, cheap.
But you listen to the players and their interviews that they've all given, and they talk very highly of him about how he's a leader and he's this, he's that. Do you know what I mean? So I can see it. Tuchel's first game, get the experience in there and sort of rally the younger lads that are in the squad.
Yeah.
Don't know.
So what's your Friday night? I bet you can't wait to watch England Albania, and then Monday night England Latvia. I bet you can't wait.
I'm buzzing, mate. Can't wait for it.
Are you going to tune in?
No.
Why?
Why?
Do you know what?
I've got better things to do on a Friday night than watch England v Albania.
Do you know what? I've seen this actually. There's some unbelievable games on tomorrow, isn't there? International.
Yeah.
I'm just getting on that. I think I was just browsing through to see what football's on tomorrow. For the third and fourth playoff, you've got Croatia v France, Denmark, Portugal, Italy, Germany, Holland, Spain. That's all tomorrow night.
What's that?
And then Friday, Malta v Finland, Poland v Lithuania, Cyprus v San Marino, England, Albania, Andorra v Latvia. So Thursday is the new Friday, yeah?
And do you know what the worst thing is? England Albania should be the best game out of all them. That's the sad thing about it.
When you look at them Thursday fixtures, you think, "Wow, that's a good lineup that for fixtures."
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Friday night, you look at them fixtures, you think, "Oh, I'm going to bed. I'm not even doing this. I'm not even doing
just while we're on the subject of England, obviously Dom Solanke's been called up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well deserved, or a bit worried because he's just come back from injury?
Look, Dom's a brilliant player, but he has come back from injury. Do I think he deserves the call up? At the start of the season, I would have said yes, but he's been out for quite a while. So I'd say probably no. But then I look at our strikers that we've currently got, and I think Solanke's the best option we've got after Kane. We've got Watkins. You got Watkins, but
It's not much option there, though, is there? Let's be honest.
There's nothing at the minute. There's nothing at the minute for a striker. There's nothing. If Kane gets injured, we're struggling in that area. People say, "Oh, Ollie Watkins in the Euros and blah blah." Mate, he's not the same, mate. He's not the same player as Kane. Nowhere near. Nowhere is and nowhere will be.
No,
mate. I just hope Dom Solanke doesn't come on the pitch. Simple as that.
Yeah, but with England, mate, they get injured in training nowadays.
But I'll tell you what, P. Going back to international football, you got Ramiro, and we're managing his minutes. He used the Argentina physio staff. He refused to use Spurs' during his rehab to get better. We've been managing his minutes, and I guarantee you he plays ×2 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course he will. I don't think he's been injured, Romero. I generally don't.
Yeah, I think he has. He has.
I think he's had that dig at Spurs and Daniel Levy, and that's it. They've put the old boot in, and then they've realised that he has to play now. He has to play.
I forgot to mention this earlier. I didn't want to go back onto Spurs. What do you reckon in his talks with Daniel Levy keep meeting Poch? They met in Hadley Wood and had coffees the other day, apparently.
It's very interesting because Poch actually was interviewed by Sky, wasn't he? And they spoke to him about Tottenham. And he said, one day I want to return to Spurs. And then it all comes out that Daniel Levy's been meeting him. Mate, could he be the next manager of Tottenham Hotspur? I don't think he will. I think he'll want to see America through the World Cup.
Mate, I don't think he's at America for a paycheck. The thing is, I don't think America will just let him go unless he's got a release clause in that contract, you know?
But again, is it always ideal to bring someone back? I thought his first stint at Spurs was very successful when you look at what he achieved. I know he didn't win nothing, but the foundations that he built for the club with the players that he brought in, and you still got to... I think you went to a Champions League final the year later, and just think to yourself, is it worth going back?
I think with Spurs, no matter what, you give Ange to the end of the season at all costs. Like, you just got to give him the end of the season. If he wins Europa League, he wins it, and then he goes into next season. You have to give him a new contract, probably a 1-year extension. But if he doesn't, he's gone, isn't he? It's win or bust for the geezer. Like, end of. Right. That is it. If we got Europa League to Frankfurt, Ryan Mason will just be in charge at the end of the season.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'll tell you now that he'll be sacked after Frankfurt if you don't go through.
Oh,
and
100%.
Ryan Mason to be put in there.
Yeah. And then
You've
the
even got a Redknapp coming out saying he'll come back till the end of the season. Do you know what I mean? It's madness.
flipping Harry Redknapp. What can he? When was the last time he managed?
Probably Spurs.
Hey, he ain't got a clue what's going on in the football now. He's too interested in watching Cheltenham.
Yeah, he's on the GGs.
But
If he got sacked though, who's your man to bring in?
oh, mate, there's a couple in there. There's San Marco Silva, there's San Ariola from Bournemouth. But if Ange did get sacked, mate, like Brendan saying it, Ange won't get sacked until the summer. I agree with you, mate. We've got to give him to the summer no matter what. But if Spurs do lose to Frankfurt, Ange will be gone. And Ryan Mason will be in charge at the end of the season.
You just mentioned Iola. He ain't gonna leave a European Bournemouth side to go Spurs though, is he? Surely.
You say that, mate. When one of the big six come knocking, mate, you're gone, ain't you?
Come on, Matty, with your myths, mate. Big six, behave yourself.
We are historically one of the big six.
Jesus Christ.
What do you class big six then?
Class, I think it's a big six. It's a
We
myth in football.
Most successful club with trophies in England. So we are.
Matty. You've just seen Newcastle win a trophy. You've seen West Ham in the last 2 years win a trophy. And you're now putting all your eggs in the Europa League because it looks even more embarrassing now than what it did last year.
Credit in this final, right? Obviously, Liverpool had their cup final. Do you know what I mean? They turned up against Tottenham reserves, pumped us, and that was their cup final. Do you know what I mean? They was loving it. And then they go to Wembley and get absolutely their asses handed to them. But I tell you now, the way Newcastle played in that final was brilliant. Yeah, they wanted it. Yeah. If that's Tottenham in that cup final, we lose 3 or 4-0. Ramiro's sent off. Van der Ven's hamstring. It's Spursy. It's gone. Spurs haven't got a performance like that in them, what Newcastle had.
Yeah, I said it today, actually. I think I was talking to Ray and I said I felt like Joe Linton was the main man. The work that geezer does off the ball and winning the ball back is unbelievable. And it gives Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali that freedom in the midfield, didn't it, just to spray passes because they've only got Joe Linton beside them or behind them.
Yeah. What's happening, Cammy? Cammy Bruno G was very good. You got Brendan and Cammy in the chat. Obviously, Cammy's still drinking his tears from the cup final.
I heard that Casper got a game as well on Sunday because Salah didn't turn up. Casper the ghost in that.
There's a thing with this, right? The same with Thierry Henry, yeah? So Harry Kane, people say never turns up in big games, yeah? That's fine, yeah? Salah, I looked at his record in big games in the final. I think he's only scored 1, and that was against Tottenham and the penalty, yeah? Thierry Henry hardly. I don't know how many goals scored in finals, but apparently it was a pretty pathetic performance. But the reason why Salah and Henry get away with it because the teams won the trophies. So that's why it gets swept under the carpet.
And they scored 6 at Norwich away. Do you know what I mean? Come on, behave yourself.
The thing is with Kane, he gets slated because he didn't turn up in big games like the finals, but he's playing for Spurs. And he carried us for years and years and years. Where Henry, he had Perez, Lundberg, Vieira winning him trophies, you know, and Liverpool, they win trophies, yeah? But Salah doesn't have to turn up for Liverpool to win, but because he doesn't score, it all gets swept under the carpet because Liverpool win it. But, mate, I don't know. What do you want to discuss now, Pete?
I just want to give a big shout out to Charlton, by the way, that are on their promotion push in League One. Charlton. I know them might be tuning in, but they got some big games coming up. And Nathan Jones has done a brilliant job down there because they were mid-table, probably December, and now they're only 4 or 5 points off the second place. They're not going to catch Birmingham, but they can still catch second, which is good. So I just want to give them a shout out, really. But Yeah, what's your overall summary of the season, Matty? Give me your overall summary, your expectations in August, and obviously we know how you feel now, but yeah.
At the start of the season, I said Spurs have finished 5th or 6th. That's what we are. But I do think the injuries we've had through the season isn't a true. It's not a true reflection on where we should be. Yeah. So, but Ange has a big say to that as well. Like he should have set up differently during that spell, that 3.5 month spell. But it is what it is. We are where we are, and it's only now that the Europa League can put right. That is it. If we win Europa League and finish 16th, we've had a better season than Arsenal. Have we not?
True. Yeah. I give you that.
Because Arsenal ain't going to win Champions League, so we'll both be in the same competition next season in the Champions League, and we finish 16th.
Let's just touch on Arsenal a minute, because you said they're not going to beat Real Madrid. Nah,
I think they can.
I said a couple of weeks ago, I think Arsenal go on to win this Champions League, and a lot of people laughed at me, but I still think they can. Do you really think they get their asses handed to them against Real Madrid?
No, I don't. The thing is with Real Madrid, they like to counter-attack, yeah? Man City played an open game against them, and they picked Man City apart. Arsenal are not that silly. Arsenal know they can back themselves defensively, and Arsenal will counter-attack Real Madrid.
And obviously, because Wes is hiding tonight, we won't know if they've got any of their injuries coming back, like the likes of Saka. But I'm assuming Saka must be close to getting back in that, not in the squad, yeah, not in the first team, but in the squad. He must. How long's he out for?
I think he's due back, but how match fit he is, I don't got a clue.
I think their biggest problem is the strike force in it. They can't. Moreno up front, he's just not. It's just not a striker. But you've got no one else.
Madrid, you've got Rudiger, centre back, haven't you? So he's an animal. Do you know what I mean? So that who's Arsenal? Marino, he ain't going to be able to just get away with playing as a striker against Real Madrid. They're going to have to play Trossard as a false role, you know, and play Martinelli on the left, and if Saka's fit on back on the right.
I watched the second leg against Atletico, and I thought Atletico, they were at home, Atletico, and they sat deep, and they hit them on the counter attack every time, and they looked dangerous every time they went forward. My next question: You've seen the penalty. Let's talk about that penalty, because I think that he should be allowed to retake that. I still don't think he's hit it twice. I still think it's gone in.
I don't think it's
fairly.
in the rules. I don't think it's even in the rules that you're allowed to retake it.
Yeah, but the problem is, the goalkeeper comes off his line, you get to retake the penalty.
No, I know, but it's
why
not
don't you just class as a goal?
I think if you double kick a ball or so. The thing is, that wasn't clear and obvious.
No, it weren't.
But you have to zoom right in to see the minor flick. And if he's touched it, mate, he's touched it.
I just think in a game of that magnitude, Madrid derby, Champions League, getting a VAR involved in a penalty shootout.
They're not looking at what game it is, mate. They're just going by the rules, and no matter what game it is, they're just going to go with it. Mate, is it harsh? I couldn't believe what I was watching. But
imagine that happens over here, Matty. Stamford Bridge, yeah, it's a quarter final or the last 16 of just say the FA Cup, and I don't know, Son hits it twice. That away end at Stamford Bridge is going to go and erupt.
Nah, mate, we'll just accept it, mate. Mate, I find it one of the craziest decisions that I think I've seen in football for a long while. And the thing is, we have VAR now and stuff like that. If there was no VAR, that goal stood because the ref didn't even not spot it. No.
Also, it looks like Paqueta might have played his last game for West Ham. His court case has started now.
When's his
That's a 3 week. He's got a 3 week trial.
When's it starting?
Started Monday. Just gone.
Do you think I can drop him a tweet, see if he's got any bankers for me before he gets sentenced or what?
He'd probably tell you stick 100 grand on Alvarez.
He loves a booking.
He does, yeah.
Alvarez loves a booking. But look, Pete, we're gonna mate, I say we wrap it up, mate. And on Monday, hopefully Wes comes out from hiding And what we'll do something different. We'll discuss a little tiny bit of England if we get to watch it. But I'll say we do like a little football quiz. Something in our era, yeah?
Yeah.
And we question each other. So you might ask Wes 5 questions. It could be like during like secondary school to now, yeah? So like the Ray Parlour days and that. So like just 5 little questions. Like who scored, for instance, when you beat Bolton 5-1 to Wes. And then I might ask you 5 questions, and then Wes asks me. So we all ask each other 5 questions or something like that.
Thing is, mate, I can't go back to the 1960s for Wes, mate. I'm asking the encyclopedia out for that one.
No, and I think we'll think of another little game to do because, mate, we can't sit here and talk about England all day, mate. Everyone falls asleep. I'll be asleep. Might as well just fold the podcast all together, mate.
Yeah, send everyone asleep anyway. We don't want to get a reputation for doing that.
Anyway. But no, guys, thank you, TikTok and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Watch out for the clips. If you're not following us, drop us a follow. Watch out for the clips. Man like Wes will be all over it probably tomorrow morning when he's clearing up the liquor all over his sofa. Not Wes. Wes hasn't got the shits. No, I didn't say that.
Why did Wes say he was sick? What was it? Something to do with Arteta?
No, Wes. So Wes's little boy's sick. So basically, I said that's what happens when you try and force him to wear an Arsenal shirt, and they're the results. But then Wes said the truth that he's just sick of Arteta. He's absolutely sick of Arteta. And that there was the true reflection of why his little boy's sick. All jokes aside, Wes, I hope your little boy gets better soon, mate. And you be a good dad, and I hope you wake up with sick in your mouth.
And just to let you know, Wes, if he's still sick tomorrow, golf's off, my son.
Yeah, no golf tomorrow, Wes. Not even in the driving range, mate. Not even the simulator on the Wii, mate. Yeah, you know golf. But how about Rossi? I don't know where Rossi is, mate. Rossi is not here today. I think Rossi's having a bit of a breather. And yeah, we'll go from that. But guys, TikTok, YouTube, thank you. Watch out for the clips going to be coming out probably in the next 24, 48 hours. And we'll go from there. Enjoy your evening. Have a good one.